Hello, hockey fans, hardcore puckheads here, and another week in the Stanley Cup Playoff race has surpassed us. First things first, is a pitching update. Congratulations to the Calgary Flames, who have officially become the best in the West. The Flames defeated the Sharks 5-3, giving them not only the Pacific Division, but the number one seed overall in the Western Conference. That means that's right. The road to the West will go through Calgary, and and with that, we have our first a playoff series has officially been locked in, as it will be the Sharks and Golden Knights face each other in the opening round of the Pacific Division's semifinal series, and uh, and the Sharks will have home ice. They clinched that some time ago, but uh, but yeah, it's been an amazing week so far. This week has seen St. Louis and Vegas and the Islanders join the playoff fray. So 10 spots have clinched overall with 6 to go. And here's the story so far. Let's start with the East. In this app, it has it all. In the East, Boston's loss to Detroit kept them from jumping further ahead of Toronto. Actually, they could have clinched second place had they won, but they're still 6 points ahead of Toronto for second place in the Atlantic. And it seems like a foregone conclusion that the two teams will face each other in the opening round. You want home ice. And Boston was actually going to get that. The Islanders are still in a close race to Metro with Washington. Washington's 3 points ahead of New York. And they're 5 points ahead of Pittsburgh, who's creeping up in there. Columbus, with their shutout win over Buffalo, they moved past Carolina and moved to the number one wild card spot. If the season ended, they'd actually face uh, Columbus. If the season ended, Columbus would actually face Washington, and Carolina would be facing Tampa Bay. Montreal is the only bubble team left because the Flyers got eliminated on Saturday. Uh, in the West, it's still a close race in the Central. Uh, 2 points separating Winnipeg, Nashville, and St. Louis. Dallas has not clinched a spot yet. They stand at the number one wildcard position with 89 points. The Avalanche are in the playoff position still, entering the month of April. 85 points, 1 point ahead of Arizona. Minnesota's barely alive. Chicago's hopes are waiting. Vancouver got eliminated a few days ago, and Edmonton has 1 foot in the grave. So uh, that's pretty much how it's going there. Okay, so here's the thing: we are down to the final 6 days of the regular season, and it is going to be a fantastic sprint to the finish. It really is. Now, here's what's in store. Here's what's in store. Perhaps the most important game of the night, and no, I'm not biased when I say this. Blues and Avalanche. Avalanche Avalanche head to St. Louis. That game's going to be on NBC Sports Network to face off against the Blues, looking to drive further away from Arizona, move up 3 points ahead. We could possibly clinch before the final day of the season. And of course, after this, the Avs return home to face the Edmonton Oilers, and that's going to be another important game. We want the Coyotes on that day. That Tuesday will host LA. Uh, the Wild and the Jets face each other. And, the Hurricanes are going to get in. They have the Maple Leafs. Columbus hosts Boston. That's on Tuesday. Wednesday night hockey is Blues Blackhawks. Now I don't know if the Blackhawks will still be alive by then, but the Blues will definitely be playing for possibly the division title. The landscape of the Central could change in these final 6 days. Uh, the Avs host the Jets on Thursday. Toronto's facing Tampa Bay. Montreal's trying to get in there. They'll be facing the defending champion Capitals. Hurricanes host New Jersey. Coyotes face Vegas in Vegas. We don't know if they'll be alive or not. The penultimate day of the season, Friday. I think there might be 2 games of importance. The Jackets It'll be MSG face the Rangers, and the Stars will face the Blackhawks. That is if the Blackhawks are still alive. And of course, April 6th is the finale. Uh, Lightning face the Bruins. Bruins may not have second place sewn up yet. We don't know. Toronto faces Montreal. The Blues face the Canucks. The Jackets will be in Kansas Capital. Uh, the Hurricanes will be in Philly. The Penguins face the Rangers. Penguins could have a shot in the division. Caps and the Isles face each other head to head. That game may end up deciding the Metro Division. Blackhawks are in Nashville. Uh, Arizona is hosting Winnipeg. That's going to be interesting. Old Jets versus new Jets. And the season will pretty much end with the Avs in San Jose. We don't know. We don't know if we'll need the final day to clinch. If we do, it could be important because both the Avs and Arizona are playing kind of heavyweight teams, and we're the ones on the road. So that's pretty much what's in store for the final week, the final 6 days. It's going to be a very interesting final 6 days of this season. And I just hope that every hockey fan out there is prepared for what will be in store in that home stretch, especially us Avalanche fans who are just hoping that we just get in before the final day and let the other teams just kill each other. But with that, I say uh, enjoy this home stretch. It's going to be fun, and I will be back with more clinching news during this final week. And on either Saturday night or Sunday, I will recap the final week and preview the Stanley Cup Playoffs. So until then.